Be good. Be very good.
I will be. I'll be very good. I'll try. Thank you guys so much for joining me. My name is Yaya Diamond. I'm the host of Yaya Diamond's Dream Chasers Radio, and we got a show for you today. Thank you so much for joining us here. We have Derek on the show today, and he's in the band, and you guys know I love music, so hey! I actually love rock music, like my favorite rock and roll band. Maybe I don't know if this is considered a rock and roll band, but it's Aerosmith. I love Steven Tyler. And he has the lips, which I absolutely love. Everybody loves the lips. I mean, people are getting lip fillers for this guy, okay? But we have Derek on the show today, and I want to thank him so much for joining us. And thank you so much, Derek, for being here. What do you think about Aerosmith?
Oh, I like their older stuff. Dream
I do
On.
too. I do too. And the movie, what was the movie that they did? The soundtrack, that was so cool.
Is that Armageddon?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing. And talking about music, you are in the music industry as well. When did you? I know I'm going straight into this, Derek, but when did you decide, or know, or get bit, or get the bug, or just like say, I can't run from this anymore?
um, Possibly junior year of college. I started off in the university actually studying music, but I switched to a computer science degree midway through. But throughout the years, it has remained an interest of mine and something I have kept up with. And technology has just improved so wonderfully over the last uh, several years in terms of what people can do now in terms of their own recordings and their own promotions. And so I've been really facilitated in continuing to pursue my sort of musical endeavors just based on how much stuff you can do right now just with an iPad or a MacBook or any sort of computer. You can record virtually an entire album completely at home.
Tell me about it. And without being musically inclined, you have AI nowadays, and you'd be like, "Look, I just want this music, and I want it to repeat here, and I want this, and I want this, and this, and then it just pushes it out. That's it.
It's true. It's
It's
true.
it. And you don't need to know how to play in order to actually be a great musician, quote unquote, with your fingers typing on the keyboard.
Yeah, it's amazing what AI can do at this point, and it gets better every month. There's something which is at least twice as good as the month before. I
Yeah.
look at our a lot of our music videos are AI generated, and I look back at the music video that we did for our song "I Ruined Christmas" a year ago, and what is possible now versus what was possible then, and
And
it's a quantum jump just in a year.
wow. Wow. Well, we're on your website, and I hope you don't mind. But I'm here, and I'm looking at all of the different things that you have up here, the artwork, just the original. I mean, did you guys do this? Is this something you did?
Um, Everything. So I guess starting with the upper left hand corner, that is an AI interpretation of our song "Zombie Love," the lyrics. It's
Mm.
fun to take lyrics for a song and put them into an AI image generator and just say, "Hey, generate me an image that you think captures the essence of this song." Uh,
Wow.
as a songwriter, I'm always very interested to find out what AI's interpretation is of the stuff I've written. I do
Mm.
that sometimes. When I was done with the entire second album, which you see there, Intouríst, I fed in all of the lyrics and I just said, "Hey, what do you think some of the themes in this album are?" And it started spitting stuff out. And it's like anything, when you're creating it, you never really, I don't think most people think about the themes that are going into the overall album. They're just thinking these are a set of songs, but
Right.
it's a reflection of a point in my life. What are the themes that are around it? It's almost like psychoanalysis when you hear back from AI. Well, it's you got the following themes here. So oh yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. I never even thought about doing that. I think I'm stealing that.
Go for it. Yes.
I never thought about that because it's like, okay, we're so caught in the old way of doing things. You got to take a picture, you got to get an illustrator, you got to do this. But nowadays, I'm so sorry these people are out of business. I'm so
Yeah, that is.
different.
I do believe it'll create more jobs than it takes away, but it's there is a transitional period where
Yeah.
you move between the two, and the transitional period I think is not fun.
No, it's not actually. And I think people will get the point that you have to be a really good person where you have to do your prompts really well in order to do this. And there's going to be some specialists coming out that will be able to do that for you. And it'll probably be better and in your best interest if you use the people who do prompts better than if you did it yourself. Um, which is great. I mean, you can feed it to AI and all that stuff, but that's great. The music industry has changed, and I think AI has really changed it. But let's go back to when you first started. How did you kind of adapt yourself to coming out of computers? What was it?
Computer
What
science.
was it? Computer science?
Yep.
How did you do that? I mean, why did you even get out of music? Did you not know that that was a futile thing that you did? I mean, you cannot. I mean, how can you do this? I mean, music is like in your veins. It's like blood. It's like eighth notes and rests are going through your veins. I mean, it's just futile.
It is. It is true, and it's usually so. My primary instrument is I'm a drummer, and
Mm.
just sitting in a meeting, I will typically be the person who's tapping on their desk and tapping their foot and driving everyone else nuts with my fidgeting. But that's like you said, it's something that gets in your blood if you're a musician. Um, you know, I would say though, I think it worked out pretty well because when we did the first album back in 2020, Decoupage, I had a lot of musical ideas I had over the years to choose from.
Hmm.
And, it's the way I like to work is to have an idea, maybe, just hum it into my phone and then just put it away
Yeah.
for a month or whatever. And
Hmm.
then after a month, maybe you've got 30 little ideas that you've hummed into your phone, and you go back and you listen to them, and some of them are like, oh, that's a great idea. And some of them are like,
Yeah.
what was I thinking? Why did I do that? And it's really sort of a filtration process
Hmm.
that you take the best stuff and you work on a little bit, and then some of it goes places and some of it doesn't. You take the stuff that's going places, and if you start with 100 ideas, hopefully you come out with one great song at the end
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
filtration.
It's crazy, isn't it? The process. It's like, okay, I got this great song. No, it's not that great. Let me go back. Oh, I hated it. Oh, it just what? I even forgot that one. I didn't did that didn't even ring in my head. Like I couldn't remember. And then there are the songs that get in your head and you're waking up and it's still there. It's like, okay, stop. I got the picture. I get it. I get it. It's a good song. Okay, let's go and make it better. And getting in there and doing the drum beats and doing everything that you need to do to make sure, because you are the core of the band. You and the bass player have to be synced.
Yeah, this is true.
What
The
is that like for you?
the rhythm section is definitely super important, particularly in rock music. I mean, that's what drives things forward, and uh, people react to that sort of uh, um, a gut sort of emotional, physical level. I think.
Hmm.
Really, the heart of the band, though, is myself and our producer Ian Beabout.
Okay.
Who, so the way that this sort of phase sets up is back in 2014, I think it was, maybe it was 2016, probably
Hmm.
2016. Um, Ian had an internet radio show called Prog Rock Deep Cuts, and I started listening to that. Huge fan of progressive rock, and it was very interesting to me to hear, wow, there's all of these bands that are around that are making the sort of music I like right here and right now, and they don't have necessarily huge record deals, but they have some loyal followings.
Hmm.
Um, And then Ian, I think somewhere posted that he had an interest in doing tape transfers for people, and I had
Wow.
some old quarter-inch tapes of my older band work. So I got him to transfer and mix recordings from like the late '90s.
Oh my gosh, I need that.
Yes, it's
I
great,
need
right?
that. I need that because oh my gosh, I got reel to reels. We got reel to reels. Who knows what reel to reels are? Okay,
Yeah,
I got plenty of those. My mom was a singer, and I have a stack of reel to reels, maybe about that high, of all original material that she did, even stuff that people have never heard before, and I don't know what to do with them.
I I would strongly recommend doing. I mean, I can put you in touch with Ian if you like, but yeah, tape transfer super important because you know those magnetic tapes don't last forever.
I know.
Um,
I
so
know. So yeah,
yeah,
it's very, very important. Wow, wow. So we're going back here. We're going like we're going back, okay? We're going back before the dat.
yes, this is true. Yeah, they didn't have that sort of stuff at the time that these tapes were originally recorded, and then when COVID hit,
I'll
um,
forget it.
like many folks, I wound up with more time on my hands than I'd ever had previously, uh, and so I got a MIDI keyboard
Oh goodness.
from Amazon, and my I've had a MIDI drum set for years and years,
Hmm.
but I'd never actually tried recording it
Mm.
before. But I put in the time since I had the time to figure out. Okay, here's how you get audio out of your MIDI keyboard. Here's how you connect your keyboard to your computer. Here's how you set up a digital audio workstation,
Mm.
which, of course, in my background in computer science, came in really handy. And recorded a few songs and sent them to Ian, and it was Jerry King actually, who was a gentleman who worked with the studio and played bass on the early tracks. Who said, you should really turn this into an album, and that was the start of Refestramus.
Wow. Now you guys ended up on the top 20 jam bands radio chart. How was that? I mean, did that kind of freak you out for a moment?
It did, yeah. That was unexpected because I think Phish was were the ones who ultimately displaced us, and I sort of felt like if you have to be displaced by any band on the jam band chart, Phish is probably
Yeah, I mean, just you could do one of these.
yeah. That was it was very nice. I mean, I think it's the sort of music we do is not the sort of stuff you're going to hear on top 40 radio.
Hmm.
So just having that acknowledgement from folks who like the sort of music that we do was just a really really nice thing to have.
Oh wow, wow! Now you guys will be performing in the UK this year.
Yes, yes.
Oh, tell me, how did this happen?
Um, it was an interesting situation. I had just taken one of those overnight sort of like red eye flights,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to my hotel room probably at 3 o'clock in the morning, and for whatever reason, I was super inspired, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to find places for us to play live gigs, and I went on my laptop and I sent like about 20 emails out saying, hey, here's our music to listen to. We know you're doing a festival. Can we perform? Yada yada yada. Honestly, totally forgot I had done that since I did it at 3 o'clock in the morning. And about a week later, I opened up my email. And it's like, hey, we'd love to have you perform at HRH 15 Prague in November in the UK, November 2025. And the folks who were going to be on the bill with us, I mean, Asia, um, most folks remember Asia,
Yeah.
Focus, Foghat, Curved Air. I think Focus and Curved Air are playing on the same day as us. So,
Nice. Now
yeah,
you can officially say you opened up for them.
absolutely. And on the album that we have coming out later this year, we have a lot of guest artists, and one of them is David Jackson from a band called Van de Graaff Generator, which is probably my all-time favorite band.
Wow.
And so he played on the album, and because he lives in the UK, actually, he's going to be joining us on stage.
Nice.
So that's
Congratulations.
one of these life goals, I think they're called, right?
Oh yes, oh yes. I had one of those recently, and it's just an amazing thing, and so it's such an honor to play with people who actually envision you as an equal or someone who has talent. Because they've been out there so long, you would think that they would be like, oh, yeah, this little you're cute, But no, I mean, I've met some people like that, but majority of the people that I've met in the industry don't regard you like that. They just say, "Hey, no one's found you yet," but that would be great. I'm honored to play with you guys. Rock, It's like, yeah,
Awesome. That's the best.
it is the best. It is the best. So tell me about this new upcoming third album. Hello, third.
Yeah, yeah. It came about a lot faster than I had expected, and it has a lot to do with that. I think we're between Ian and myself, we're really sort of getting a groove down in terms of the way that we work together.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him probably about 50 ideas, which I had trimmed down from probably about 250 ideas. And he further sort of trimmed down to 10 ideas and went and worked on those 10 ideas and expanded them. And there's on this album, besides having a set of guest musicians, we're also joined by a couple of musicians from a band called Octarine Sky, Diane Potter and Jan Christiana, and they contributed tremendously as we were sort of arranging and recording the tracks. Besides just playing on it, just always that idea that hey, what if the bass went like this here, and what if the keyboards did this here? Always super useful. And I think folks who liked the first album and liked the second album more will find that the third album is even better. Because I don't know about you, but I mean that's my big thing with each recording is as long as it's better than the one before it.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah. And I mean, you are in no competition with anyone else but yourself, really, at this point.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that Yaya, do you know there's so much competition out there? I said, so who else is Yaya?
I like it. That is so true. I'm going to steal that.
I'm not in competition with everyone is an original artist that's out there being an original artist, and they all have something to offer. And there's going to be people that like me and don't.
So true, right?
So who am I in competition with again?
You just got to be yourself, right?
You just have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. So when you went and you wrote this last album, what was the one song that really resonated with you? Because there is always one or two.
Yeah. It's really interesting because there are two songs that sort of immediately come to mind, and they are rather the opposite ends of the spectrum musically. One is called Lucky Ones. And when it started off, I really felt that it was a pop song.
Okay.
I thought, well, this is unusual for me, but I could actually hear this on top 40 radio. This is. But as we got more into it and added more flourishes and fleshed out the lyrics, it really became sort of a very distinctive Refestramus. It's still 3.5 minutes, which by our standards is quite short, but it packs a lot of musical punch into those 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I like. And it's really it's talking about the idea that sometimes, in life you encounter people who are, I don't know, they seem mean-spirited or negative or whatever, but often, as you go through situations like that, and you learn more and more about it. What you realize is a lot of times those people themselves are very unhappy, and so the sort of the message behind the song is when you're on the receiving end of something like that, you might actually be the lucky one because the person on the other side is they're probably more unhappy than you are. Is
Yeah.
theory. Um, and then there's another song, which is the one that David Jackson from Vandegraaff Generator plays on, called "Heller, New York City," which is, I love New York. It's but folks who have had the experience, I mean, like that 3 a.m. experience I had on the red eye flight coming, stumbling into my hotel room and then having to be up by 7 a.m. to
No,
go about my
I
business.
hate that. That
Yeah.
jet lag is bad. That jet lag is bad. Okay, yeah. Whew.
So one is sort of very much the optimistic side of the spectrum, and the other one is a little bit more spiritedly angry, I guess you would call it. But it wound up becoming. I think the other thing I like about it is most of the album, most of the song is in 5/4, but you to listen to it, I don't think would feel that it's in an odd time signature. It feels very natural. And
Mhm.
I love that when we can do something which is musically sophisticated, but we can kind of slip it in and folks won't necessarily notice it.
Wow. And it's called Maury's Rock Boutique?
Maury's Rock Boutique,
Why?
yes.
Well, how did you guys come up with that name?
It's a great story on this one. So, um, 3 years ago, and very few people visit this country from the US, but I was vacationing in South America and I had the opportunity to visit the country of Paraguay,
Mm.
which, and while I was there, one thing I love about their capital, Asuncion, is they have two rock music clubs, which is not
Okay.
that big a capital. So they have two rock music clubs. They're both walking distance and nice weather from the hotel. So I'm like, oh, this is great. But they also have a place there called Maury Rock Store,
Oh.
and the person who owns that store, as you might have guessed, his name Maury. She made the first 10 T-shirts for Refestramus that we ever had as
Oh.
merchandise. Um, and then she made also, I think, the second set of T-shirts for our second album. And so we were talking about this, and there are photos you can find on social media of all of our. We sort of wound up with a bit of a following in Asuncion. They even played us on Paraguayan national radio. We have a song called Asuncion. So essentially, it's become a satellite base of fans that we have,
Wow.
and sort of in honor of that, we thought let's name it Maury Rock Store because that's what the place is called. But my concern was that if we called it that, when people Googled her store, they might find our record and it might impact her sales or whatever. And all sorts of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Let's change it, so we put the apostrophe s and then we said boutique instead of store. So, but yeah, it's that's the backstory.
Wow, that is so cool. And I like that. I like the honor in that and the dedication and also, that sense of how would I say, camaraderie between you and the person that did your t-shirts. And are they doing the third album t-shirts?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I'm picking those up next month. It's an interesting thing because I'm picking them up on my way to the festival, and our intention is to just throw them out to the crowd. But in this era of heightened tensions with tariffs and all that sort of stuff, I
Yeah.
I hope I'm able to explain to the folks at customs in the UK what the whole concept of a T-shirt cannon. So
Mm.
it seems very American, doesn't it? T-shirt cannons.
I mean, I think they will be able to, to get with it. Just tell them that you're going to be giving them out for free to your fans.
Yeah, makes
And
sense to
during
me.
your show performance, as gratitude for them to come out, you're just gonna throw them out into the crowd.
Fingers crossed. What's the
Yes,
worst that can
yes.
happen?
I hope it does go through, but it should. It should not be a problem. You know what I mean? But who knows? But maybe you need to contact the airliner or the airline before you get ready to leave so that you don't have these issues
Yes,
at the last minute. You know what I
all
mean?
that, right? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Wow. So the third, oh gosh. So what's in the future for you guys?
I think this is this is really a highlight of everything that we've done so far. I mean, it's the ending 2025 with a performance in the UK, which is where most progressive rock came from in the 1970s, and being on stage with someone who's not only one of my idols, but I know an idol of the other folks in the band also. Just a great way to end 2025. I see 2026 being much more domestically focused and sort of organically grown. Probably a big focus on social media growth and domestic touring is where I see 2026. So if you're in the U.S., you can look for concert dates from us next year, I would say.
Awesome. You know, it's so weird saying 2026. I mean, I was born in 1970s and I'm like, you know, you were born in the 1900s. What?
Yeah, right.
Old fart now. I mean, seriously, I am too. I'm like, my gosh, you're kidding me.
I have heard 1900s said, and it just
Oh,
what a
oh.
thought.
It just makes my heart drop. Like, oh gosh, is this what they said to the people from the 1900s for the 1800s?
That's what it said, right? It just
Wow, the turn of a century. So we are 25 years into the turn of the century, and the music industry has changed so much. What kind of advice do you give to the new people coming up after you?
I would. I mean, I think when I consider the way that the path that Refestramus has taken, the music has taken a nice straight path. Some of the promotional approaches, I would say, get with someone who's an expert in social media sooner rather than later, because not only are you losing time the longer you wait to promote yourself on social media. But in fact, you can have damage if you try to do it yourself. Like I was just looking at a social media post today about somebody who got their songs on one of these playlists that's actually just bots that go out and they just hit it. And there's a whole bunch of things that are potentially unfortunate about that. But in this case, I think that what the bots that were hitting their list were also hitting a bunch of other artists that had nothing to do with their music. And so now they're going to have to spend a lot of time digging themselves out because the recommendations that are coming from the algo have nothing to do with, they're not being recommended to people who would actually like their music.
Yeah.
They're being recommended to folks who probably won't. That's the sort of thing that a good social media advisor can do for you up front. So if I had one piece of advice, it would probably be, make sure that you are training the algo early to put your stuff in front of people who will like you.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I definitely agree. And I have one more question. Okay. How do you pronounce the band name? And what does it mean? Where did it come from?
Well, so it is a word that my mom used during my entire childhood and continues to use to mean to rearrange, usually in particular to rearrange yourself after something has happened that knocked you sideways a bit. Perfect use of it is, after I went through security at the airport, I had to take a moment to Refestramus myself. The benches that they have afterwards, and you have to sort of, try to put back all the stuff that got kerfuffled while you were trying to go through.
Yes.
So that is what we always meant, and we always thought that it was a word that actually existed. And then somebody actually said to my mom, that word's not in any dictionary. You can't.
No.
And so then I had the realization, well, wait, if I use that as the name of my band, any sort of search I do on this word is going to be just about my band.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There's a
Well,
method
yeah.
to the madness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's how you say it again?
Refestramus.
Refestramus. Okay. All right. Well, you go ahead. You go ahead. Refestramus. Okay. But thank you, Derek, so
Thank
much
you.
for being on the show. I appreciate it. And wow, what a pleasure it's been to have you on the show. I know that we have your Facebook page right below me. So it's facebook.com/Refestramus. And if you don't know how to spell that, that's Refestramus.
Perfect.
And we will be putting that link in the description wherever you may be watching. Okay. But also, I want to thank you, Derek, again, so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. And I can't wait for you to have your fourth album and come back.
Thank you so much. It's great visiting with you today.
And you too. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. But most of all, if you do get kerfuffled and all that other stuff that comes with being kerfuffled and all messed up, don't forget to refrestramus yourself. Thank you for watching.